From the 26th of February, India will take part in the 13th Ministerial Conference to be held in the Middle Eastern city of Abu Dhabi in the UAE. It's commonly known as MC13, and this will be along 164 other member nations of the World Trade Organization. The meeting will review the functioning of the multilateral trading system and talk about emerging concerns of international trade. Although India is just one of the 164 members, some of these conversations will have a deep impact on Indian trade and industry. Some of these topics include agriculture, trade and sustainable development, fisheries subsidies, e-commerce moratoriums, investment facilitation, trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, and the currently defunct appellate body for dispute settlement. Allow us to bring you a down low on where India stands on many of these issues and why this is important. First up, public stockholding limits and a permanent solution for it. You're probably aware of India's Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, a flagship food grain scheme that involves the procurement and distribution of food grains to poorer households. Now, under the scheme, the government provides 5 kgs of food grains per month to an estimated 80 crore beneficiaries. This has been flagged at the WTO, where public procurement, storage and distribution at subsidized rates is seen as a distortion of global agricultural trade. The issue is not new. In the 9th Ministerial meeting held in Bali in 2009, a peace clause was emerged as an interim solution until a permanent solution could be brokered. Under this clause, it protected programs of developing countries that are existing from legal challenges. And this was in support of an excess to agreed limits. Now, this excess was at 10% of the production value. Now, India has held that this support measure is necessary to meet domestic food security and cater to its poor population, particularly in the pandemic years of 2020 and 2021 when PMGKY was launched. India's first ask, it says, is to seek a permanent solutions to the discussion on public stockholding limits. Let's take another topic of interest, fisheries subsidies. The WTO has adopted an agreement on fisheries subsidies in the 12th Ministerial Conference, that is the last one in June 2022. Now, for this to become operational, 2/3 of the members have to sign off on it in a period of 4 years. It looks at prohibiting harmful fishery subsidies, which are a key factor to curb the widespread depletion of the global fish stock. What does India want? India is pitching to carve out a form of subsidy for its poorer fishermen. India has also expressed reservations against a list-based subsidies approach and has called for a moratorium on distance fishing nations, essentially those that fish outside their regional fisheries management organizations. This is a generalized area, as they have historically exploited fish stock. Now, India is also seeking for a moratorium extension of 25 years on such a situation. Let's talk about e-commerce tech tariffs. Now, in a ICT dispute, India was ruled against in the case of Japan, Taiwan, and European Union, where global trade norms said that India's import tariffs were restrictive in nature. India took this to the WTO appellate body, which is the highest dispute settlement body that's currently defunct. The heart of the matter is actually an information technology agreement, which covers 97% of world trade in IT products. Now, this calls for zero duty on a host of IT products and was further expanded in 2015. India has said that since the signing of this agreement back in 1998, technology has evolved and brought on devices like smartphones, updated electric wireless network, which were not in existence when this agreement was signed back in the 90s. India has been vocal about the adverse impact this has on developing countries and is expected to maintain this stand going forward. One way to settle this, of course, is through the decisions of the appellate body. Now, the appellate body, like we said, is the highest decision-making body at the WTO. And it's important that many countries are also bringing up that this now be no longer defunct and it can be used to reach a consensus on many of these long-standing disputes. In terms of the new members that are being nominated to the appellate body, this has been currently halted by the United States that has raised concerns over the functioning of the body. Last but not the least, MC13 meet will serve as an important juncture for India to discuss emerging trade concerns. We're talking about CBAM, Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. Minister Piyush Goyal has noted that concerns on CBAM are very valid and India is looking to settle this at the WTO or even perhaps bilaterally with the EU. This is something will be closely followed. So stay tuned to NDTV Profit for more coverage on MC13, for that's all we have right now. This is Janani Janarthanan for NDTV Profit.